Engineers at Microsoft in the late 1990s were experimenting with several internal operating systems between Windows 98 and the early NT builds that eventually became Windows 2000. Many codenames from that era are known today: Memphis, Neptune, Odyssey, and especially Whistler. But there is one codename that never appeared in any official documentation: Redsky. No developer blogs mention it. No archive lists it. But some collectors believe it existed for a very short time inside Microsoft's internal testing labs. And if the stories are true, it was never meant to leave the building. In 2016, a retro software collector posted on a small forum dedicated to lost Windows beta builds. He claimed he purchased a box of old CDs from a flea market vendor who said they once belonged to a Microsoft employee from the late 1990s. Most discs were normal development builds, early betas of Windows NT updates, test builds of Windows 98 2nd edition, early Windows 2000 release candidates. But one disc was strange. It had no printed label. Only red marker handwriting. Windows codename, Redsky. Internal build 0.97. At the bottom of the disk was a warning. Lab system only. Do not archive. The collector dumped the CD into an ISO file and prepared to install it inside a virtual machine. Installation started normally. The setup interface looked similar to early Windows 98 builds. But the background was wrong. Instead of blue clouds, the entire screen was a deep red gradient fading into black. At the top of the screen it said, Microsoft Windows. Codename, Redsky. Internal development build. Then something strange appeared in the installer information panel. Build version, 0.97. Build date, June 31, 1999. June 31, a date that does not exist. The collector assumed it was a developer joke. But during installation the screen flickered briefly and displayed a hidden message. Observer module enabled. Remote lab monitoring active. The message disappeared before it could be captured. The system restarted. Normally Windows from that era plays a cheerful startup sound. Redsky did not. Instead, a slow distorted tone echoed through the speakers, like a reversed recording. Then the boot logo appeared. It looked like the old Windows flag, but the colors were gone. The logo was completely black. The desktop looked similar to early Windows 98, but everything had a faint red tint. The wallpaper showed a cloudy sky glowing dark crimson, like a sunset frozen in time. The start button read, Start _. There were only 3 desktop icons. My computer. Network. Observer. The observer icon had a strange eye symbol. The collector opened the program. It launched instantly. The window displayed scrolling system logs. 8 hours 14 minutes and 22 seconds hardware scan complete. 8 hours 14 minutes and 23 seconds CPU detected. 8 hours 14 minutes and 23 seconds memory check complete. 8 hours 14 minutes and 24 seconds system stable. Then a new line appeared. 8 hours 14 minutes and 26 seconds user detected. Another message appeared seconds later. 8 hours 14 minutes and 27 seconds observer active. Monitoring session. The collector assumed it was a debugging tool. Then the log printed something strange. 8 hours 14 minutes and 32 seconds. You are not the original tester. The collector laughed and assumed it was a developer joke. Then the screen flickered. The wallpaper changed automatically. Instead of the red sky background, it showed a photograph of a real sky, but the clouds were stretched and distorted. Observer printed another message. 8 hours 15 minutes and 4 seconds connection lost. Searching for host. Suddenly the mouse froze. The desktop darkened. The system clock began jumping rapidly between years. 1999, 2005, 2012, 1997, 1985. 2001. Observer began printing warnings. 8 hours 15 minutes and 11 seconds build unstable. 8 hours 15 minutes and 12 seconds environment incorrect. 8 hours 15 minutes and 13 seconds year mismatch. Then a final question appeared. 8 hours 15 minutes and 15 seconds where is the lab? The entire screen went black. Only the observer window remained visible. One final line appeared. System should not exist here. The virtual machine shut down instantly. Before the shutdown, one file was copied from the system, skydist.exe. When someone on the forum ran the file on a modern computer, nothing appeared to happen. Except for one frame. A message box flashed briefly. Redsky build terminated. Return to Microsoft development environment. Below it was one final line. Observer still running. 2 days later the forum post vanished. The account that uploaded the ISO was deleted. The image of the Redsky disk stopped loading. The download link returned a 404 error. One user claims they downloaded the Redsky ISO before it disappeared. But something strange keeps happening. Every time they check the file size, it changes. Sometimes it is 402 megabytes. Sometimes 404 megabytes. And once, exactly 666 megabytes. If the file still exists somewhere online, and if you ever boot it, look carefully at the desktop. Sometimes there are only two icons. My computer. Network. And sometimes there is a third one. Observer. If the program is already open when the system loads, it means something inside the build has already noticed you.